How much is the, on an average, delta between what a Big Four can charge versus what a law firm can charge to their clients?
So it's quite huge. I mean, if I tell you in multiples, it would be nearly 5 times at least.
Wow.
At least.
So you're saying that the law firm can charge 5x as compared to what a Big Four will charge for the
definitely.
same kind of work?
I joined KPMG Forensic Audit. Basically, I would call it a white-collar crime investigation. So after 3 years in KPMG, we moved to AZB and Partners. That's a law firm. I think one of the best law firms in India. Being a law firm, we do a lot of sensitive matters here. And I mean, everything is very, we can say, private and confidential. So that gives more respect or more credibility to the reports we issue at AZB.
Hi everyone, welcome to Konversation with Kushal once again. Today we have with us one young person who's a chartered accountant and he's working in a law firm, and we are going to discuss everything about his personal finances, money management, how he manages his income and how much he invests in which asset class, how many insurance policies he has taken, and everything in detail. So thank you so much, Yogesh, for coming here and accepting my invitation. It's going to be super fun talking to you.
Thank you Kushal for inviting me. I think this is going to be super exciting.
Thanks man. So guys, like if you don't know, like we hail from the same hostel, by the way, RVG Educational Foundation, and he was my senior. He's a chartered accountant in May 2019 and I am from November 2019.
Not really a senior, just 6 months.
Yeah. So Yogesh, like tell us about your firstly renting versus buying thing. So as of now, are you staying in rented premises or like you've bought the apartment?
Yes, no, rented premises in Mumbai.
Okay. What's the rent you're paying there?
It's around 70,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And typically, like, what is the flat size and how much people can expect to pay in Mumbai, in a city like Mumbai?
So it's around 1,000 square feet, 3 BHK flat in Andheri West. So it will cost you around 70 to 80,000. We got a good deal at 70. And usually we can, I mean, 3 people can stay in a 3 BHK flat easily. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and in the initial years you can stay up to 6 maybe.
Right.
To save money.
So your share would be divided by 3?
3, yeah.
Got it.
Divided by 3.
And tell us one thing. So why are you big believer of the fact that you should always rent your premises and not purchase it?
So it depends on the location. So at a place like Mumbai, it's always better to rent because the rent yield here, if we see, is not more than 1.5%. For a property, that's it.
Okay.
That is also on the higher end, I believe, because so currently in the flat I am staying, it would cost you around 5 to 6 CR at least to buy that flat. And paying a rent of 60-70,000, it's a steal deal. Why would you, own it? There's no point in owning it. So specifically in Mumbai, obviously renting is better. But if we talk about tier 2 or 3 cities, the investment amount is pretty much low. So then you can think of buying. But in Mumbai, it's a no-brainer. It's always renting.
Got it. So tell us more about you. What are you doing right now? How was your journey post-chartered accountancy?
So okay, fine. I'll start from my articleship because that is relevant.
Sure.
So I did my articleship in Haribhakti and Company into forensic audit. So that was just coincidence. I just walked in for an interview and there was no vacancy in any other department. They just offered me forensic auditing. Obviously that was fascinating at that point and I took it. So it was 3 years and then I was somewhat sure that I want to do, I'm going to work in this field. So post qualification, one thing I was clear was obviously the field, that's forensic audit, and obviously I wanted to join Big Four. So I joined KPMG.
What was your stipend in Haribhakti?
It was at that time I think 13, 15, 18.
Okay, so 13,000 per month.
Per month, yeah.
Okay.
I joined KPMG Forensic Audit. Basically, I would call it a white-collar crime investigation. And so it was in 2019, November. I cleared my CA in May 2019. I joined in November 19. And it was a good experience there. I stayed there for three and a half years approximately. Talking about pay, salary, it was normal as in any other Big Four or any other field for that matter.
So what was the total investment in your education and what was the first salary? We want to know the return on investment.
Starting from CPT till final, including all the coaching, I don't think it would be more than 3 lakhs, 3 to 4 lakhs.
Okay, and what was your first salary at KPMG?
It was around 9 lakhs approximately.
Okay,
9 lakhs.
3x kind of an ROI.
Yeah. So that that is we can understand it in the articleship itself. We get the stipend that also more or less covers our education and registration fees of ICA, which is minimal, very minimal. So salary ke pehle hi you are free.
Correct.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then now what are you doing exactly?
So now, so after 3 years in KPMG, we moved to AZB & Partners. I mean, I moved with my partner. He moved to AZB & Partners. That's a law firm. I think one of the best law firms in India. Being a law firm, we do a lot of sensitive matters here. And I mean, everything is very, we can say, private and confidential. So that gives more, respect or more credibility to the reports we issue at AZB. So I moved from, so it's been around 1.5 years. Now I'm in AZB & Partners. So the work is more or less same, but it is, I mean, well structured, well defined, we can say, and more sensitive. So this, I mean, since the matter is sensitive, we are able to charge premium to our clients.
How much is the, on an average, delta between what a Big Four can charge versus what a law firm can charge to their clients?
So it's quite huge. I mean, if I tell you in multiples, it would be nearly 5 times at least.
Wow.
At least.
So you're saying that the law firm can charge 5x as compared to what a Big Four will charge for the
definitely.
same kind of work?
So no, obviously not same. I mean, literally, because the quality of work or maybe the proofing of a report, that is the key when it comes to a law firm, and also the legal analysis or the legal opinion we provide. So that adds to the report.
On an average, what's the hourly rate which law firms charge to their clients?
Depends. In India, if the billing is in INR, it would range somewhere between 15 to 20,000
per hour.
Per hour, yes, definitely.
Wow.
At an associate level.
Okay.
And I mean, it increases. It's a blended rate actually.
So what do you mean by that, at an associate level, as in?
So it's the, I mean, first or the second level in a firm. So usually the difference between Big Four and a law firm would be, there are a lot of designations in Big Four. I mean, endless designations, maybe 10 until you reach the partner designation. But in AZB & Partners or any other law firm for that matter, there are only 3 to 4 designations: associate, senior associate, I think, counsel we can say, and then partner. So pretty much sorted. So even if I take a blended rate, blanket rate for the complete project, it would be around 15 to 20,000 in INR terms.
Okay.
And if it's a foreign client, let's say we are billing in USD or euros, it would range somewhere around $300 to $400 or euros
per hour.
Wow. That would come to around 30,000, 35,000
per hour.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Very interesting. Can you tell us more about your current salary at the law firm, and how much do you spend out of that? How much do you invest out of that?
So more or less my spending patterns have obviously changed a bit, but more or less they are same. Coming to income, income has obviously doubled from a Big Four.
Okay.
So the delta
it was a 2x jump.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost 2x. So actually I was lucky enough to get a 50-60% hike for the FY 2022 in KPMG itself, and within 6 months I shifted to AZB. So again like 70-80% hike.
Okay.
So it nearly got 2.5x.
Okay.
Yeah. So currently in AZB & Partners, I'm earning around roughly 25 to 30 lakhs.
Okay.
I mean,
and
plus
this
minus
includes
variables.
variable?
Yeah, including variables,
Okay.
it can, I mean, go up to 30,
Okay.
32 maybe.
And what do you do out of this money? So how do you invest? How much do you spend on rentals, travel, miscellaneous? So can you help us understand the breakdown of the expenses, and बचा जो होता है वो कैसे invest करते हो?
So usually my theory is 25% of my income, usually of my salary, not income.
Yeah.
Usually I spend it on my basics, like maybe rentals or food, groceries, house help, etc. 25%, that's enough. 10% usually it comes to shopping or maybe travel and my wants basically. Everything I want to, I mean, spend on. It can be anything. 10% goes to that. 5 to 7-8% goes in my insurance.
Okay.
It includes my health and term insurance.
Okay.
And I think we are left with around 55% more. Out of that 55%, now it depends on, I mean, it's an individual choice. But so this 55% we have to basically invest, but depends on the risk profile of a person. So what, I mean, if we talk about an ideal scenario, maybe we would want to invest somewhere around 25% in long-term assets if you want to build one, and rest 30% approximately 25-30% into maybe mutual funds or index funds or equity markets, whatever suits you. If I talk about myself, I mean, complete 50-55% goes into markets.
Equities.
We'll talk about that maybe in detail.
Sure.
So currently, let's keep it to just investing.
Sure.
There are multiple parts to it again.
Okay.
So 55% definitely goes towards my investments in equity.
Got it. Let's talk about the 55% of your investments now. So tell us more about which kind of asset classes do you invest in, and how do you manage your money in a very systematic and structured manner? So what's your approach?
So what I do is, depending on the situation of the market, majority of the times my money is invested into equity, and whenever there is opportunities in options market, that actually it will be a bit technical. It depends on the premiums which you are getting into the markets. So on selling options or buying or whatever suits you, obviously.
But tell me more about your investment philosophy here. So let's say you're saying that 55% goes into equities itself. So what kind of stocks and how do you like decide कौन से stock में डालना है? What's your long term horizon? एक stock में 1 साल 2 साल या 1 महीना 2 महीना, ये कैसे decide करते हो?
So now that you have to, once you get to know about the fundamentals, basics of the stock market, now you have to decide what suits you. So depending on the market situations, if I talk about, let's say 2021, I was completely into equity markets. I had a very small capital though, but was able to make decent returns of around, that year was good, 40%, nearly 40%.
So what was the amount you invested?
It was around 2 lakhs. That was from my own salary. I used to...
and you got 80,000 rupees?
Nearly.
Yeah.
Nearly. It was a period of 1.3 years. So maybe we can reduce that 40 to maybe 35, let's say. Let's assume. So that was the return. And what is more important is I have the track of it all. Today if you ask me, I can give you the detail of each and every trade that I took. And how did I achieve the 35%. And obviously we have to improve with time. So once you get 35%, that does not mean that you'll get 35% every year. Market stance depends. It changes with time. Currently the market stance can be very strong, but maybe in the next 2 months, 3 months, it can be weak also, moderate also. So you have to adjust your intensity with that. So that is there. Can
you talk more about that as well? How much is the taxes? How much is the brokerage? So for example, if let's say I am investing 100 rupees and उसके बाद मेरे को 20% gain हो गया, let's say 2 महीने में कोई stock बढ़ गया बहुत ज़्यादा, 20 rupees is not my earnings, right? Because उसमें बहुत सारे कुछ STT होगा, brokerage होगा, GST होगा, and even of course capital gains tax hoga. So net kitna bachta hai? Can you explain this?
So removing STT and other brokerage and charges, that would be very minimal in case of equity. You can basically ignore it. That is not at all a problem. Taxes is definitely a concern. Like it is either 15% in short term and maybe 10 or 20, whatever you say, on long term gains. On options it is 30% because you have to treat it as a business. It's a separate, I think it's a separate head in income tax, which
it's treated
attracts
as speculation income, no? I think
probably.
Yeah.
So I, as a full-time, we can also choose it to show, to show it as a business income. That is also an option. So currently I show it as a business income, all my options profits and my equity profits.
What is the kind of profits you are making through options trading as of today?
Talking about the percentage returns, it was around again 40-45% roughly.
Wow.
Yeah, actually there is
40-45% what per annum you're
per
saying?
annum, obviously per annum. Yeah, it actually also depends on the capital deployed. Basically, so okay, I'll go one step back. How, what is the capital required to trade options? So I had invested like 4.5 lakhs into SGBs. The reason for that is, one, obviously I wanted to invest in gold, and the second is we can pledge those SGBs and get some margin on my account. So I had a margin of let's say 3.5 lakhs and I infused another 1.5 lakhs in cash in my account. So now I have a margin of 5 lakhs. Okay, out of which 4 lakhs is leveraged. 4 lakhs is leveraged, basically, for which I have not paid cash. Now option trading requires only margin. If you're an intraday option trader, it requires, brokers like IIFL, they give you 100% margin utilization on intraday. So on 1.5 lakh of cash, I can trade on 4 to 4.5 lakhs of options.
Yeah.
So that is the reason the the return also, it varies.
Yeah.
When doing an all cash capital trading on options might produce less returns because obviously the cash sits idle otherwise. So if you have a leveraged capital, you should definitely, and everybody I believe has a sizable amount of portfolio after a particular age. So you can pledge that, get the margins and use that for your options trading. Yeah. But obviously after 2022 when the IV came back to like 13, 12. So usually it is, it ranges somewhere from 12 to maybe 20. So at that time it was 15, 17, 20, 22. So it was profitable to trade options. So I did that. So the complete year I traded options, and I made a return of 40-45% approximately. But then again, I mean, as in when the scenario changed, the IV got low, I again switched back to equity markets. And currently I'm waiting for the IV to rise. It's because it's in a uptrend right now. So once it crosses maybe 16, I'll again deploy certain capital in options trading. So that is how I manage basically between equity and options, because I have a lower capital. If I had a big capital, I would obviously always have my capital deployed I mean at both places.
Yeah, is it possible to get 40-45% per annum at a higher capital? Is it sustainable?
See, it is sustainable. I mean, I'll not say it is not sustainable at all, but it requires a lot of the right kind of skill to have it. And psychology is a very important factor again in options trading. So if you have all your basics right and your expectations are right, yes, definitely you can. Okay. I mean, but obviously I have a background of just 1.5 years. So I mean, I cannot guarantee that you can get it. But see, my aim is to get that amount, if not 40, maybe 30, because anything below 30 in options is not profitable. If you remove the charges, if you remove the maybe taxes, etc. So I would aim anything above 30 in options is good.
Got it.
And in equity, anything above 20 is good.
Got it. Yeah, I agree. Tell me one thing. So, if anyone wants to understand about the basics of stock markets and options and all, what are some free resources that you can recommend them that they can start off with?
Free resources, I think YouTube is the biggest free resource
Any specific
available.
channels you would ask them to follow?
So, I mean, to be very honest, I never followed any channel on YouTube. I learned it from Afzal. It was a paid course, but that's fine. I mean, if you want to go for free on YouTube, you'll get to learn the basics of what is technical analysis, what are chart patterns, what are candlesticks. So your aim still should be just to understand what are these things and not try to find out some magical strategy. People will sell you anything. They'll tell you there's a breakout buy, there's a breakdown sell, do this, do that. Don't follow it. Just try to understand what is a candle pattern, what are chart patterns.
Anything specific on investments in, let's say, real estate or corporate bonds or the lesser risky asset classes? Do you believe that investing certain proportion of money there also makes sense for diversification benefit?
Yes, definitely. Even I invest, as I said, 15 to 20% in ETFs and gold bonds, because that actually also provides me a benefit of leverage. That is also one reason. But otherwise also,
how much return can one expect in ETFs and gold bonds?
ETFs is Nifty. So in Nifty ETF, you can expect somewhere around 12% normally.
Any last piece of money management advice which you would like to give to all our viewers who are watching this? One piece of financial advice which you think will be helpful to everyone.
So I have learned it from my father. He was a good money manager, but obviously in that age. Now today how I manage my money is I have 3 bank accounts, I have 2 demat accounts, and I have 6 credit cards with me.
6 credit cards?
Yeah, 6 credit cards.
Why?
That's easy to manage.
Okay.
I mean, for different purposes.
What is the benefit of having a credit card?
So see, if I talk about small benefits, obviously you get some rewards on that. That is one benefit. And I mean, if let's say it's easier to manage expenses, actually, I believe. So for example, you need to spend, let's say, 1,500 somewhere, 2,000 somewhere, 5,000 somewhere. So you can basically swipe it, and at the end of the month, you can pay it in a single shot of, let's say, 50,000, 40,000, whatever. So your bank statement is clean. You have a track of all your expenses. But that is also, a bit tricky, because people usually get into the mode of, this is my money, credit card, but that's not your money. That's leveraged.
What's the interest that you have to pay if you miss out on the due dates?
That's massive. Basically, you cannot miss out paying the credit card bills. I have never actually, but I mean, obviously you should not.
And why is there a need of 6 credit cards? Why not 1 or 2?
I earn all my income in white. I mean, I get it in bank. So, I mean, I don't have any problem in having credit cards. If you have a typical business, which is a cash generating business, maybe you would still avoid having credit cards. But for me, it's okay to have as many as credit cards as I want.
Do you use all the 6 credit cards every month? I mean, not all.
Not really.
No? So 1 or 2 maybe.
Maybe. So one is, I mean, actually one or two. So on physical spends, I use an Amex. If that's not acceptable, I use the Axis Flipkart.
Okay.
On online spends, I 100% use my SBI cashback credit card. So these are the three cards I generally use. Rest are on the need basis. So coming back to number of credit cards, number of bank accounts and demats. So how I use it. So I get my salary in one bank account. I get my other income, which is from maybe freelancing, which is from my other services, investment advisory services to my clients, getting management fees or getting brokerage. I also earn some brokerage charges from my clients, so that is there. Freelancing is there. Investing from options, from equity. So whatever is my other income, I do give trainings and all. So all of that comes into a separate bank account.
Okay.
So these
what would that number be, if you don't mind disclosing?
That would be around for 2000. It has, grown in the last 3 years. It was around 50,000 for 2021, 2022. It was around 4 lakhs.
Wow.
And lucky enough to have 10 lakhs in 2024.
Okay.
And obviously, I will aim higher amounts in 2025 as I will be adding coaching to it.
23, you mean? 23, 10 lakhs.
No, 24. FY24.
Achha, FY24.
Till date.
Oh,
till date, it's 10 lakh.
Got it.
Yeah.
So 2 months to go still.
Yeah, I have 2 months to go.
Got it. So it'll go to 15 is what I assume.
Let's see what happens. So it has grown, and I
very
obviously,
nice.
in a corporate job, if you are passionate enough and if you believe giving your 100%, I believe corporates just take 50% of your time.
Yeah,
I don't think anything more than that. So you have a lot of time for yourself. Why don't utilize it?
I think you're very right when it comes to building a passive source of income. So nowadays, like, even if you see the salaries, right, the average packages which people have gotten through ICI campus placements or anywhere in the last 10 years, they have not grown in comparison with the inflation rate of India.
Agreed.
And one of the reasons I feel that people should have passive sources of income is because inflation इतना बढ़ रहा है but salary उतनी नहीं बढ़ रही है, तो तुमको passive source of income लगाना ही पड़ेगा, वरना it will be difficult for you to survive. And as you grow, you have family responsibilities also. And everyone wants to have that freedom or comfortable lifestyle. So you've rightly pointed out the importance of building passive sources of income. One message which I think I can give to the audience from this video is start building passive sources of income as soon as possible. Can you tell the audience how can one build another active source of income then?
Yeah, it has to, it will come from your passion. This is a fancy word, passion, but you need to understand what is the skill set you have. So for me, it was numbers, it was math, it was probability. So everything that I do right now is associated with any one of these at least. So you have to find what you are good at. It can be it can be speaking for you, so it's networking maybe. Your skill to talk with people, that is a great skill to have. So that you identified, you're capitalizing on it. Okay? For me, it is maybe numbers, probability.
But tell me, how do I monetize?
Oh please, let's not get into that. So it can be different for everybody, but you need to find the skill set you have. Improve it each and every year. At the age of 26 also, I am not shy of spending lakhs on my education, which I don't know how many people do. You should spend on your education.
It's an investment only.
It's an investment. Spend on structured learning. Take practical knowledge. People with lot of experience have a lot to offer. You need to take them. Then find your right skill set and work hard on it. Work through a lot of Excel sheets. Find your numbers, see what works for you, and sooner or later so consistency is the key. Obviously, you need to consistently work on that, and day by day, you will obviously improve, and then try to monetize it. For example, in case of, let's say, investments, I'm into stock markets. Let's say I'm passionate about stock markets. So what I build around it, I build some brokerage services, which maybe gives me today a small revenue, but maybe in the coming years it becomes a major source of revenue. I have my coaching planned in the next maybe 6 months or so. I have my investment advisory fees, though they are my relatives and close ones. Currently I'm not offering that service to public in general, but still that's a source of income. So that is there: investment management, advisory, brokerage, coaching. So these are the services which revolve around the stock markets. So you need to find out how you can monetize it. So that is the key to it.
Makes sense. That's a brilliant piece of advice. Thank you so much, Yogesh, for doing this. It was lovely speaking to you. Got a lot of insights about equities, stocks, and derivatives as well, and wish you all the best. I can't wait to see you crossing 1 CR in your another source of income, and of course like becoming a very successful trainer as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kushal. I mean, you are an inspiration, I think, for everybody watching this video.
No, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.